Is that what those guys are doing down here? Are they pissing down here? That's disgusting.
Today, This American Dice presents Dungeon World, After the Last Battle, Episode 8. After having faced some of the Round Earth guards, our heroes must endure reptilian cooks and fanatical rebels who want to offer them a sacrifice and stop them respectively. Find out what happens today on This American Dice.
So no one told you that you shouldn't go this way. You fell into a trap and now you can't escape. You can't get out with second level gear. Walls are closing in on you and now here comes the fear. But I'll resurrect you with a potion I'll put. I'll resurrect you like I've done it before. I'll resurrect you 'cause you got all the loot.
Episode 8. Kobold cooking for curved earth cultists. Or stew fast, stew furious.
So Gritta cast guidance, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and got an 11. So pretty freaking good.
Oh, I can double the effects or the number of targets too, since I got a 10. I don't know if that actually can work in this, but
yeah, that's a weird one in this. So I'll say that you
two symbols of my deity appear.
Yeah, I'll say that. You know what?
Go in opposite directions.
Like you're the runes on Gritta's hammer glow, and you hear that like again, and it just points to go straight up that ladder.
Damn it.
And then it like it puts itself in it almost puts itself in like a readied combat position. And so it gives you the heads up, like your best way in is to go straight up this ladder, but heads up, there's going to be a fight.
Well, that means while these kids are getting ready, I'm going to get ready with the praying.
All right.
Soup up my weapons here.
Sure. So does your previous enchantment still last on your thing?
Yeah.
On your hammer?
Just it says while the battle continues. I feel I would probably have to cast it again, right?
Sure. I might hold off for a second to see when we're getting there next.
Oh, okay, sure.
But yeah. All right. So Gritta's found kind of a direction to go, and it seems like it's straight up that ladder.
Well, I don't really have much preparation to do, so I'm ready, and I'm behind whoever is ready to go.
Let's do this. Is my weapon enchanted again? Also, what did this enchantment do?
Oh, does anyone need to be healed? I mean, I have healing potions.
I could use a little heal. And Austin, when you tell me I take damage, do I then subtract my armor from that amount?
Yes. So you took 6 damage. So if you have +1 armor, you only take 5.
Cool. All right.
In my gear, I have 3 healing potions, whatever those do. So whoever wants them, just take them.
All right. I'll take one.
Also, if everyone has a warrior spirit, Ragnar can heal you too.
Exactly.
Is this like you think
That's
of yourself as a warrior type thing?
Yes. You're just yeah.
I identify as a warrior in this moment.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
A healing potion. Heal yourself of 10 damage or remove 1 debility. Your choice. Okay. Cool. So you guys take your time to climb up this now somewhat greasy ladder.
Of how much damage?
10.
10? Okay, fine.
It had been a good idea, but it seems like nobody's come down here. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna take that back. So you guys are like, okay, we're probably gonna have to go up that way, and you finally hear these like little voices, and it seems as though somebody's coming down the ladder, and they slip and they fall down the ladder, and you hear like, wow,
and there's this small creature that's I think it's like fallen down the ladder. It didn't impale itself on the sword. I think it's smaller than you were expecting it to be, and so when it fell, like it didn't fall like the way a human-sized figure would. The creature is only like 2-ish feet tall, about the size of a goblin. But you hear like, oh, somebody put grease all over this ladder. And he's
So I'll move
and
to
this
surround
creature's
it.
like yelling up, like upstairs.
I'll move to silence it.
You move to silence it.
Well, like put my hand over its mouth or something.
Okay.
I don't want to like sound the alarm again.
Okay, no problem. I think you just do that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
What kind of
So
creature is this?
You grab this thing, and it's this small, like 2 to maybe 2.25 foot, like lizard-like creature with kind of like burnished red skin, like brick red kind of skin.
Ooh,
It's
like a
scrawny. It's scrawny, and it's wearing clothing, but the clothing is like not rags exactly, but pretty darn close. It's almost like it took like blankets or something and turned blankets into clothes. It has like sharp little teeth, and it has little claws, and but it's like wiggling around as you've kind of grabbed it. You think this creature maybe could scratch you or bite you, but it doesn't seem to be doing that, at least at the moment. And it's like, yeah. Do you?
I'll look to like whoever seems to be the most like sociable person in the group.
So, well, the
Good.
big thing was, Rosco, were you trying to like figure out, do I know what this is?
I'd like to see if I know what it is, and then if anyone's going to talk to it, see if someone else wants to take that up.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your spout lore.
All right, I got 12.
12. Oh yeah, this is a kobold. Little critter. Is a kobold.
Okay. Standard dungeon fare.
And it's like
These parts.
kind of wiggling around, trying to get out of your grip, but it's not really fighting very hard either.
All right, so I'll say, Master Kobold, what did Dirk kind of say? We'd like to have a word with you.
It's like, that's not a kobold. It's a pincushion. I'm going to draw out my Dirk.
It's like, whoa.
That's what Dirk says when he pulls out his wiener, though.
Yeah. About to get
all
real
right.
stabby up in here.
Yeah, and the oh god, and the thing's like the kobold is like it kind of gets more. It seemed to like slow down for a second, but then when you pull out this knife, it like is like kind of starts wiggling around more.
Hope you like dying.
I'll say, well, that's not going to be productive. I'll say, Master Kobold, what's going on up there?
Do you release this creature's little mouth?
Oh, I like look to Gritta and Jeff, be like, is that a good idea?
Don't do it. Then they'll hear him scream while I'm stabbing him.
I say, all right, I'm going to take my hand off your mouth. You better cooperate, or we'll kill you.
Ooh,
So
that's a
Yeah, you better cooperate, and then we'll kill you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
that's a great parlay, Carl. I know you're
right.
rolling
9.
a bunch, but yeah, 9. All right, so it's like, so it needs some kind of concrete assurance at the moment.
I'll look to Dirk.
Oh, I'll put my Dirk away.
And
Penis
it kind of
out.
yeah, it kind of nods. And as you take your hand off its mouth, it's like, oh, geez. Master Kobold, what? Oh, boy, what the heck?
It was just to make you feel special.
Oh, well, we should feel, special. What?
I
I
see it.
also wanted to make you feel special.
I say, look, we don't really have a lot of time here. We're gonna fill you full of holes and drag you through all the piss puddles on this floor of this castle if you don't tell us what's going on up there right now.
Is that what
Yes.
those guys are doing down here? Are they pissing down here? That's disgusting.
Humans have disgusting habits, and you're about to be introduced to them firsthand.
This is our area to piss. We wouldn't have told those guys about it if we knew that they were coming down here and mixing the piss together. That's disgusting. I'm against it.
Don't worry. We killed them all for doing that.
Oh, well, I would say that was good, but they were... anyway. So who are you guys?
We're just a crack team of renegade commandos here to kill everyone in this castle.
Dark
like,
past, sordid futures.
He's like,
I'll say...
You got a problem with that, Kobold?
Do you not like us, Kobold?
Yeah.
pretty messed up.
He's like, you guys are...
We're Operation Rolling Pin. We're here to flatten out those round earthers.
Yeah.
We're going to make some pita out of this place.
I'm beginning to wonder why you even came down here, Kobold.
Yeah, I am too. Jeez, come down here, just nothing but abuse. I'm really getting the 3rd degree down here, but I guess you guys probably will eventually.
I say, why's that? What's going on up there?
And he's like, it's only a matter of time before you guys get your, I think he like mispronounces comeuppance, and he's like, time till you guys get your cumpennies.
I'll say, we're all full up on cumpennies.
Are those guys touching my cumpennies? Damn it.
I'll say,
he's like, this is the second worst day of my life.
What's your name, little guy?
Oh, and he's like, my name, Little Squishling.
Oh, well, Little Squishling, I'll give you 10 gold coins to turn on your masters and become our friend.
And he's like, I can't do that.
11 gold coins.
And he's like, well, hold on. He says, hold on now.
Okay.
Let me count them.
Okay, 12 gold coins. Final offer.
He's like, you know what? Now you're just being braggadocious. He mispronounces braggadocious. But no, he's like, I'll take your gold coins. I don't care about these guys at all. I'm just here to worship the Great One.
Oh, the thing that must be a dragon.
Is that what you say to him?
Yeah.
And he's like, yes. Soon it will fly through the night, burning all of you.
I say, wait, is this the same dragon that fell heroically at the Battle of Sebastiana, saving all those helpless non-combatants?
And he's like, yeah, the great dragon of Sebastiana.
So, but I thought it was been killed.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh, and he says, the god shall soon be reborn. That's why we're here serving, waiting for it to be reborn. And then the reckoning. It'll be hilarious. And he's like, that was my 3rd degree joke earlier. You remember that one?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it was about burning.
Well played.
Yeah, I'm kind of a cut up upstairs.
I say, what's the mechanism by which you intend to bring him back?
And he's like, there's not like a mechanism. That sounds kind of disgusting, like a
ritual.
pervy kind of thing. Oh, a ritual. Yeah, probably. And he's like, I don't know. See, I just work in the kitchen. I'm not involved in the ritual. And there's definitely not a mechanism. Gross. And like in his head, he's just imagining like a weird sex device. And he's like, ugh.
I'd say, all right, well, we need more useful information if you want us to hold up around in the bargain. Dirk over there, he gets real angsty when he's not filling something up with holes.
Yeah, I gave you the 10 coins, or like I'll throw the 10 coins to him. But now I get to stab you to death, right?
He's like, I believe we discussed 11 coins and the matter of death. Yeah, I believe we discussed 11 coins.
One of you guys got a coin you can give him?
Oh, this guy.
I only had 10 coins that I took off that dead guy over there.
Let's not make Dirk a liar, boys.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to get to stabbing.
Pull some coins out.
All right. So this kobold picks up the final and 11th coin and is like, all right. Now, if you guys will follow me up here, I'll bring you to the kitchen. I assume you guys will want to hop into like a cauldron or something, and then later on you can be an offering unto the Great One once it's reborn.
I feel like we're not on the same page here.
Guys, come on. I don't have a ton of time here. Eventually it'll be reborn. I want to see it pleased, and I feel like a stew made of these dudes over here will be good.
All right.
I'll say, listen, if you can get us to where the ritual...
Yeah, I'll start picking up bodies and like, all right, where are we taking them? The kitchen?
And he's like, oh my God, are you going to put those bodies in there? That's gross.
Oh, I misunderstood. Clearly.
Like, Jeff and his daughter have had a long day.
Like, the stew is a sacrifice. He's not going to eat it.
I'll say, do you actually require like a sacrifice to finish the ritual?
I don't know. It'll probably help.
I said, listen.
Again, I'm not here for the ritual. I'm just here to worship the mighty one, reborn.
If you can get us to the ritual site without us being seen, we'll let you go once we get there.
And he's like, well, you guys can come up to the kitchen. That's where we work.
I'll look for the others.
Yeah, but some dickhole greased up this ladder.
That's not the worst thing that'll happen to you today.
No.
It's not the last thing that will grease up either.
Yeah. Take this ladder and turn it sideways. Oh.
He's like, that's not how ladders work, idiot. All right, come on. He keeps slipping. That's what that noise is.
I'll follow.
All right, you guys can do this. You just have to go very slowly, and you can climb up this ladder. Only about like halfway down is it greased. So once you get like up towards the top, it's pretty easy to go. At least for the first couple people. The later couple people, like the grease on everybody's hands has kind of come up, so it's like very difficult. Yeah. Basically, each person that's like following takes longer and longer to get up. And so it's just kind of this like comically, hilariously slow thing of you guys coming up here. You guys arrive at what seems like a it is a kitchen. I'm gonna be
like, who the hell would grease up, a ladder? Who didn't wash their hands after dinner time and use the ladder? It's like
some criminal mastermind set on foiling everyone in this castle.
And we see a shot down below, and it says like Dirk Savage's own ladder grease. It's a can down at the base of the ladder. Anyway, so you guys get up here, and it's in like this it's pretty big, but it's like also fairly disused. And if you remember that scene in The Legend where they're actually going to like cook one of the people into a pie, it's this like big kind of castle kitchen. And there seem to be like maybe 8 to 12 kobolds down there. And they do seem to be like cooking stuff. They seem to be like working in a kitchen. But most of the stuff that they seem to be using seems to be like pretty hideously gross. And you figure like, oh, they seem to have maybe thrown together some of the like old leftover ingredients from that storeroom that you were in. Mm. And he's like, all right, well, it's kind of too. We've pulled most of the stuff off of it, but there's a giant cauldron over there. Could you guys like pull that cauldron out?
Are you going to ask us to get in it after we do?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I'm not just going to bring an empty cauldron. What am I, rude?
So,
we'll pull it out if you tell us where you want us to take it.
And he's like, well, you guys will have to be in the cauldron, and then, eventually the scalding will begin.
I say, you know what? We will do that. Absolutely. Let's bring the cauldron down.
All right, cool. Go ahead and pull that cauldron out for me.
All right. I'll do that.
Okay. So the other kind of kobolds seem to kind of just watch what's going on. A few of them are cutting up like hideously rancid sausages, like in the corner. And there is a giant like Bugs Bunny esque like he's gonna get cooked kind of cauldron.
So if I can like have him like huddle with the rest of our party, like away from the kobolds here, and be like, listen, we should just do exactly what he wants us to do. Get in the cauldron, be brought to the ritual center. I can make sure the cauldron doesn't get too hot with my magic.
Oh, shit.
And that'll take us right in the heart of where we want to be.
Where'd you learn that trick?
It's the first. That's a second year wizard spell.
Maybe one of us not be in the cauldron, so in case something goes wrong, can help out.
Sure. The operational parameters are up to you, of course. But I do think that this cauldron is going to go where we want to be. So yeah, if you want to sort of watch us from the outside, feel free. It's your call, man.
Well, I'm dressed up as one of their soldiers, but I could see that not working. No, I'll just get in the cauldron with the guys.
Okay, so you guys are going to try to Trojan horse this?
Yeah, we're like, listen, you're right. There needs to be a sacrifice made, and we're the guys.
Tell me something I don't know. All right.
You're right. You deserve a promotion.
He's like, no, I don't. We're terrible. Look at us.
Yeah.
Never forget, you're a master, Kobold. Don't think those things about yourself.
So he goes, yeah. You know what? Maybe you're right. Anyway, get in that cauldron.
All right. So I'll cast, if he starts like trying to boil it, I'll cast prestidigitation on it and make it cooler.
Okay, well, at the moment, you guys are like kind of like in this cauldron. It's huge. And the issue is like these kobolds, even all of them working together, aren't really strong enough to move this thing. I think maybe they had you guys put it on something with wheels so that it could be moved more easily. But even then, they're like very slowly pushing this thing out. And they go to the door of the kitchen and they're like, hey, we've got this cauldron ready. We got the whole situation all set.
Not the whole situation.
And
you got the whole situation already set? We all know that we all know that Master hates the sacrifice when it's cold. It's going to cool down before we get it up top.
And another one of the kobolds takes a big spoon and he whacks at the side of the cauldron and he yells, "Stews don't talk! Stews don't talk!" Eventually, you hear like the voice of just a guy,
a dude,
who's like, "What do you want?" And you hear like
we've ready to sacrifice. We found an excellent one for you, and we put it together. Once the ritual is complete, the new god will need nourishment, and this will be a sacrifice for it to fit it as the new king of the world.
And the guy's like, "So, did you clean out this kitchen or no?" And they're like,
"Clean out the kitchen? Why, we've made a feast for the god."
The guy's like, "What are you talking about? We said you should just clean the kitchen." And he's like,
"Please, the cauldron is here as a sacrifice. We have plenty of what's another term for the thing to be offerings. We have fine offerings up to the new lord of everything." And he's like, we just need help hauling it down to the great hall. All
right, so at this point, I think I got to have you guys make some kind of roll here.
Okay.
It seems like it would be a defy danger roll. I'm not sure with what, because I feel it's supposed to be half with, it might just end up being like half of just luck.
Hiding though, sort of.
That's true. So it could be maybe dexterity to like be like as perfectly still as possible and all this stuff.
Yeah, or like we're underneath the goop, but like we have straws sticking out and we're breathing through the straws.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is there other goop and other stuff in here with you guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Lots of disgusting stuff.
Okay. Yeah. There's old sausages that have been chopped up that are in there.
Mm-hmm. Fred's dead body. Fred's dead body.
Guards. Yeah, exactly. Some kobold went down and got like parts of the guards, put them in here.
Mm-hmm.
So they, yeah, sure. There's like, they were like,
"Oh, the finest of wines."
and they open a thing of wine, but it's like hideously turned bad. And it's like absolutely disgusting vinegar that you're like, "Oh God, it smells like vomit and piss." Oh,
but Jeff really likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine vintage.
But yeah, so we're going to have to probably make something like that because this guard seems skeptical of the fact that these kobolds are doing anything. He's like, "What the hell are you doing? You guys are supposed to be like little servant peons in here. What are you talking about?"
This guy's got chutzpah. Got initiative.
Yeah. Big dick over here.
I'll roll Define Danger on Dex roll.
Sounds great.
Got an 11.
Pretty good.
Hell
All right.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think that the guy's like, You know what? Fine. If it'll shut you guys up and it'll make you actually clean this kitchen that you were supposed to be cleaning, fine. I'll help to haul this down. Me and Sid will bring this thing down there. But I don't know if they're going to want you down there. Certainly not until you've cleaned this kitchen. And the Kobalds are like,
But please, we have to see the new god reborn.
and I think the guy's like, oh, soon it'll be done soon enough. And yeah, you guys will definitely see it. And yeah, and so this guy and some other dude named Sid slowly come up and are like straining to kind of push this huge cauldron ahead of them. But yeah, so Sid and what's the other guy's name? The guy who was just talking to the Kobold?
Ron.
Sid and Ron. Sid and Ron. Yeah, all these people have like very simple names. Sid and Ron are kind of walking up to they're pushing the thing along, and they're like, yeah, those Kobolds are pretty annoying, right? And the other one's like, yeah, but they clean up stuff around, so we don't have to do that. And he's like, but they make just as much of a mess in a bunch of other places. And he's like, yeah, but I'm not worried about that mess. I heard that there's an alarm going off, so everybody's supposed to be on high alert. And he's like, yeah, that's why I didn't want to fuck around with this giant cauldron. This seems stupid. And he's like, yeah, it kind of does.
Just keep following, Ron.
Yeah. All right, so you learn, and I'll just give you this information. These guys like talk about how basically that area down below is an area where like some of the guards go to like goof off. And so when they heard the horn go off, they didn't know like where it was coming from. They thought it might be from over here, but it would be weird if that had like gone on basically. So these guys had some suspicion that it could have been coming from that direction, but it wouldn't be likely. And so just because there's no other entrance or exit from that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's like their theory. Anyhow, you guys are brought eventually to you guys eventually stop. You kind of can't really see much inside. You can look up from the inside of this cauldron, and you'll notice that like things do get like fancier. You have to be hauled up several long ramps, which seem like a massive pain in the butt, and like these guys are like exerting themselves tremendously to push these cauldrons up these ramps. And then eventually you kind of hear like, hey, we got this cauldron for everything. And another guy's like, cauldron? What the hell's that? It smells gross. And he's like, oh, the Kobalds made it. They said it's an offering for the new god. And he's like, and the guy's like, yeah, it's weird that they worship this thing. But I mean, they helped us find it, so can't be too bad. Anyway, what do they want us to do with this? He's like, they said it's like a soup or a stew that's like an offering. And he's like, that's not what we need. There's the high sorceress is in there now, working on the next part of the ritual. And we've already come really far. We don't need to interrupt with like a gross pot of soup. And he's like, well, what should I do with it? And he's like, I don't know, just put it over there. And they're like, okay, fine. And so lo and behold, you stop moving and you just hear these guys kind of chatting with one another. Some of the topics of conversation are, Alex, what's one?
The price of what's it good of twine these days?
Yeah, one guy's
used in just about everything, you know.
Yeah, one guy's saying like, price of twine's going up, and another guy was like, how do you figure? I mean, we're in our own rebel fortress, and the guy's like, I got an eye for markets.
Yeah.
They're also discussing like potential punishments when they finally retake the world and they get to punish the flat earthers for their heretic beliefs.
Yeah, and one's like, I think that the Kobalds keep talking about all those guys being burned, but I think like if they have to go to jail, the only thing that they have to read about instead of their regular flat earth stuff is round earth stuff. That would be hilarious. They would just like shove their nose in it the whole time. And another guy's like, I don't know. It sounds like everybody was just trying to get along. Like, shut up, Sid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems as though you're just kind of like waiting around, and there's these long conversations of these guys like kind of go on for several minutes.
Oh, hello. This is Dr. Steny Gameshko with another mid-episode health break. And I gotta tell you about this. You ever get stinky shoes? Well, here's a good little tip for you to deal with some foot stink. You gotta make sure to wear socks. That's the thing that people forget. Otherwise, the foot juice just gets right up into the shoe, and that's gonna stay there. If you're a person who doesn't like to wear socks, you gotta clean those bad boys out pretty regularly, and you gotta clean those tootsies. That's pretty important. I recommend some baking soda or a foot spray like you'd get at the Targets or the Walmart. One of those two. Kmart's pretty good, am I right? So, keep the tootsies clean, keep a sock on those things, and wash, am I right? But keep them dry. Thanks. It's the Steny Gameshko with your mid-episode health break.
Yeah.
Well, my plan at least would be to wait till these voices die away, if that's going to happen anytime soon, before making a move.
Are you like listening in as closely as you can? Maybe putting your ear to the cauldron to maybe help it hear some extra stuff?
Oh, naturally.
Go for it. Go ahead and roll your discern realities.
That's not it. Sorry.
That's right.
4.
4. Very good.
Is it?
All right. So, yeah, you hear. Oh, that already happened. You hear, like chanting that starts very lowly, and like you're like, I can vaguely hear chanting, and then you hear that it's getting like louder and louder and louder, and those guards that you can hear nearby are like, oh man, it must be really, it must be nearly complete in there. And the chanting rises to like a feverish pitch where like the metal that's surrounding this cauldron almost forms like an acoustic kind of thing where it starts to kind of vibrate or resonate in such a way that you hear like the chanting get louder and louder and louder. And it's not quite deafeningly loud, but like at an insane like concert level of chanting. And I'm going to say, just for the shit of it, the actual cauldron that you're in just cracks. And you guys kind of like flood out like amid these like chunks of old rotten sausages and like disgusting wine that's really more vinegar than wine. And you guys kind of flop out. And again, this chanting is super duper loud, so you can hear what people are saying, but it's like barely anything over this chanting. And there's these there's several guards. There's maybe like these 4 guards that have like different uniforms on than you had seen before. They definitely look nicer. And they like point and they're like, intruders, interlopers. And they like draw these long swords and kind of rush toward you.
Does it seem like everyone knows we're here, or just these guys in the room?
It seems like these 4 guards that are standing in front of this like massive, ornately carved door definitely know that you're there.
Well, I would like to cast a fireball, but only if it doesn't mean alerting the entire building.
I mean, you don't see additional guards at the moment.
All right, well, that'd be my plan. I don't know about everybody else.
Sounds good.
Anybody else have another idea?
Sounds like you've got some moxie here, kid. That's a pretty bold plan. Pretty impressed how everything's been coming together today.
Man, you're going to be a good dad. You're really encouraging.
All right.
Some might say I already was, kid.
Anybody else? So Carl is going to cast Fireball. Anybody else doing anything else?
Mm-mm.
All right. Looks like we're going to have to go to... Wait. Anybody else? Anybody maybe think that they're talking but they're muted?
Oh, yeah. If there's going to be a fireball in here, I can stand back and start making spells or pumping up these weapons to clear the rest out.
Cool. Anything else? I'm trying to just figure out like a good order.
Yeah, after the fireball gets cast, I'll charge in and clean up.
Okay, so yeah, let's do the fireball first then, I guess.
All right, here we go. Big old baby fireball.
Big old fireball.
Big old fire. All right, we got 9.
9.
Someone can try and help me.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you how good you're doing, son.
Yeah. Words of encouragement.
Yeah, where's it? This is great. That's the biggest fireball I've ever seen. Oh my God.
Well, okay. Is there anything, I mean, it is a magical fireball. Is there anything that we could do to connect with that?
Oh, don't you have that flame pen?
Oh my God, you're right. I do. Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to use it, but I'm sure you can think of something.
I'm going to pull out and say that sometimes, son, the pen is mightier than the
ball.
Yeah.
All right, sure. So go ahead and Jeff, and roll your roll plus bond with Rosco.
Rosco. Okay. Let's see. Plus bond.
Do you have any bond left over with Rosco? Any bonds?
Yeah. What do you mean bond plus?
So then it's just +1.
Okay, and what do I roll for bond though?
2d6. Just you're rolling 2d6 +1.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna hold the pen in front of him. My hand's gonna like burst into flames, and I'll like hold it in front of his hands as he casts fireball and like blow on it too.
Okay, sure. And that fireball then does a bunch of damage, right, Carl?
So much damage. It does 2d6 to everyone in the area and ignores armor.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that 2d6. 11. Damn.
Crack.
All right. Yeah, so you burn these troops, and these guys are like, "Oh my God!" They're kind of like
the worst
flames of
stew
shot.
I've ever eaten.
Yeah, flames have shot all over them, and they're like, seize them, destroy, capture these men. And I think that two of them, since Jeff stepped out in front, 2 of them go to leap on Jeff. So I know Gritta was planning on casting some spells. Do she or Dirk have any plans with that information?
Sorry, what?
So at least 2 of these guards, they are elite guards, are like leaping towards Jeff.
Oh, can I intercede and attack one of them?
Are you trying to defend Jeff or just attack one of the guards?
Is Jeff in rough shape?
No, not so much.
No, just attack one of the guards.
Okay, so there at least is another guard that's not attacking anybody at the moment.
Oh, attack that guard.
Sure, go for it.
Unless there's any way for me to get the drop on any of these guys.
I think at this point they know you guys are there. Yeah. So unless you became like invisible or somehow like left and did something else and then came back. So go for it. That sounds like a battle roll because they're definitely ready to fight.
And I'm just looking at my skills here. So hack and slash, is that?
Yes, sir.
9.
All right, so 9. All right, so you run at this guy and you're going to be able to deal some damage, but you're going to suffer some as well. So go ahead and roll your damage.
3.
What do these guys do? Spells. That's not it. They don't have spells. Where are they? Oh, there they are. All right. So you do 3 damage to this guy. And you're able to I think the 2 of you leap at each other. Like he sees you and you see him and you leap at each other. And, but the 2 of you end up stabbing one another. The only difference is you stab him and he falls over with this small knife in him. That it doesn't mean that you lose the knife, but you look down and you realize you have his sword shoved into you for 10 damage.
Yeesh.
Yeah,
so 9 damage. That's half my health.
Yeah, and this guy just leans over and is like, "You'll never crush the world." Ugh.
Crush his world.
That's right.
Crush his wife and children's world.
Yeah. Also,
not on board for that.
All right. The other guard that had not yet attacked looks like he's like raising one of those horns up to his lips to blow a warning or something.
Oh, guess what? I think I'm done with those prayers. I'm gonna shoot a thing at him.
Go for it.
So yeah, this is maybe she was praying and sees that go on. She's like, now, and just like a bolt of energy comes out. Maybe.
Okay. Cool.
So close to having 2 of them.
Ooh. All right. So you're like, yes, this spell is going to be awesome. So your first one was, that you had been casting that spell before? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, you, I think this is what happens. Like, you're given this like benefit and you're like, your axe like glows, and then you go to cast magic missile and, that
was the damage there, Austin.
That's the damage.
Yeah. My roll was 9. I was saying.
Okay. I thought that was to enchant. I thought that was to enchant your weapon. Okay. That also works. Okay. So you do that. Which of those things do you think you're choosing? The drawbacks.
I'll draw unlocal attention.
Okay. So, you zap this guy. Would like lightning come out of your hammer or something like that?
Yeah, it's like red lightning.
Like, take that! Like lightning shoots out of the hammer of this guy's. So you were trying to stop him. You were trying to you were trying to stop him before he blew this horn. So to say like, he blows the horn anyway would be kind of undercutting what you were just doing.
Oh, maybe I like target the horn and it blows up in his face or something. That's why I don't like the damage.
Sure, yeah, you do that. The truth is though that this guy still just dies. But does he die? Target 2. Oh no, he wouldn't die. These guys are hardier than I thought they were. He sees that, and I think that he he sees that and he goes, all right, you're like, I think he just says, a scion of the god of war, huh? Well, you're not the only one who can speak to the gods. And this guy starts almost like, you can very clearly see like casting a spell, and he's trying to cast this spell at Gritta and Rosco, who he sees are like magic users. Okay. So meanwhile, what are Rosco or Jeff up to?
Jeff, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going for the guard that's closest to me.
Well, there's 2 guards that are that are leaping on you. So actually we have to deal with that. So these guys are very much just like jumping at you. Mm-hmm. Swords drawn. They're attacking. So you can stand in defense of yourself if you'd like.
I'm going to stand in defense.
You try to run away. You try to just fight them.
I'm going to use that shield.
Uh-huh.
And defend myself. Stand my ground.
All right. So you're standing in defense of yourself, and you rolled a 10, so you hold 3 of these. So what is it that you are doing?
I'm going to have the effect of the damage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to open up the attackers to an ally. And do damage equal to my level. Maybe plus a shield or something. So
go ahead and make a defy danger roll. I think based on it relates to the shield and the fact that the shield is poisonous.
Defy danger?
Yeah, because I think you have to defy danger of poisoning yourself with this shield.
Okay, strength or constitution?
Constitution sounds better. All right, an 8.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and go ahead and roll a 1d4 for me.
Yeah.
I got a 2. All right. So, you have been poisoned. I don't think Jeff necessarily knows this at the moment, but with bloodweed. And
Not bloodweed.
Yeah, you will deal -4 damage until you are cured of this poison.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so you're going to be dealing less damage. I think you feel like some of your strength kind of sapped from your body.
I've got antitoxins in my bag.
Yeah.
Once this fight's over.
Okay.
Yeah. So you kind of like bash into this dude with this shield. These two guards, because there are two of them, they are going to do 3 damage to you, Jeff.
Okay.
As they kind of like clash into you initially.
Okay.
And they are now opened up to another attacker. All right. Meanwhile, we've got somebody casting a spell on Gritta and Rosco.
Okay. Okay. Is there any way I can tell whether this guy's been phased by his damage so far from the fireball?
All these guys look a bit messed up from that.
All right, I guess I'll just try and magic missile him before he casts, if that's possible.
Sure.
If I can beat him with a punch. All right, I'll cast. 8.
8. All right. So what's the drawback you're choosing?
I put myself in a spot.
You draw unwelcome
Or
attention.
I draw unwelcome attention or put myself in a spot.
Okay. Sure. All right. I've got an idea. Go ahead and roll your damage for me.
What's damage?
On magic missile, yeah.
Okay. Let me see. 4. Got it. 4.
4. Okay. Dang. All right. So this guy's a lot hard. These guys are hardier than they seem. Oh, wait. 4. All right. Okay. So here's the deal. You're trying to like wait to get this shot off, and you're looking to get this good shot. This guy starts to like cast this spell, and you see that like the sword that he's holding almost like kind of like flies through the air and like in like these different arcs, and then it has turned into like multiple swords. And you realize if you were to just fire this off kind of straight away at this guy, it would likely get like blocked by one of these swords, and you have to kind of like hold a moment to do this. And the big thing is that you are going to have to wait until one of your allies is in. You're going to have to wait long enough where one of your allies is going to be affected by this, and the spell kind of like starts to go wild. And so basically, Rosco, who's going to get hit by this spell?
I choose?
Yeah.
Gritta.
Gritta's going to get hit by this spell. All right. So, Gritta, can you roll 2d10 for me?
Yikes.
All right. Yikes, indeed. Yeah. So, she ends up taking 10 damage as this like magical sword spell kind of like cleaves down into her.
These aren't pushovers.
So yeah, but then that magic missile blast goes off, and this guy like falls down and says like I did my best. Oh,
best is garbage.
All right, so there's still these two guys that are fighting with Jeff. Dirk, what are you up to?
I got kind of injured on that last one. Let me see if I have a healing potion or anything. Yeah, I have a healing potion. I'm going to take that. Oh, no, I don't. Never mind.
All right.
I'll take out my bow. I have a bow. And when my time comes again, I'll shoot him.
Okay, well, that could be right now.
All right, shoot him.
Okay, so you're going to try to just shoot at one of the guys fighting with Jeff?
Yeah.
Sure. So that sounds like a volley move to me. You're targeting one of these guys to fire an arrow at.
11.
11. Pretty good. When you take aim and shoot at an enemy at range, you have a clear shot. Deal your damage.
It's just 1d8, right?
Yeah, it's just whatever your regular damage is.
4.
Oh. Yeah, so you have a clear shot at one of these guys, and I think so. So here's the shitty thing: these guys have like really intense armor, and so I think that arrow actually just pings right off of his armor. But the one thing that changes up is he turns around and like disengages with Jeff. And so Jeff, there's only still just the one guy fighting with you.
Okay.
And so we're going to go to either Jeff or Gritta on that. And so like there's the one guy fighting with Jeff who's kind of continued to focus there, and another guy who's turned around from Jeff and is now kind of like looking at Dirk, who's just loosed an arrow that plinked kind of helplessly off of this guy.
Especially after seeing that, I'm going to start praying to make this my hammer better. Like maybe there's, well, depending on how this spell goes, it just has like red energy on it or something.
Sure. Yeah, go for it. So you're trying to enchant your weapon?
Yeah, trying to cast this.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? That's going to go onto Jeff's weapon too.
Great.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. So Jeff, you feel that, like you guys hear that like metal music play again? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bonanza. Yeah. So you, Jeff, keep in mind, you do still feel weakened because of the bloodweed, but you feel that like the weapon itself, is almost gaining a power of its own.
Yeah. What's the effect? What does it do?
Of the bloodweed?
No, of the blessing.
It's right in the chat. It's going to do plus 1d4 damage. So that cancels out the bloodweed, which does minus 1d4 damage. So your weapon does regular damage.
All right, great.
Yeah.
I'm going to go attack the guy in front of me.
Do it.
Yeah.
I dare you to.
So that's unpunished fail.
Whoa, what? Wow.
How'd that work?
16.
Yeah, okay. I think that I must have had a perfect roll because that would have been, wait, 2d6.
You got a 2d6 plus 3 plus 2.
You got 6 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2.
Yeah, you did have a near perfect roll.
Is that, but do I really roll?
What are all the bonuses is my question.
Well, the 3 is from the strength, and 2 it says just from forward.
Is 2d6? I thought my roll was 10.
No, you roll 2d6.
Yeah,
I do? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. But, all right.
Either way, it's going to be over 10.
Either way, yeah.
I get plus 2 for my weapon.
There you
Okay.
go. That's it then. That is what you rolled, 16.
Sure.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. All right. Damage. 8 plus 1d4.
Minus 1d4, right?
Well, don't worry about that because then it balances out. So you're gonna, you're definitely gonna finish this guy off.
Oh, I finish him. Do I have last breath? That's pretty cool. What's last breath do?
That's you don't have to worry about till you die.
Oh, I took that from Barbarian, I think.
Okay. So,
Hey.
So you kill this dude.
Maybe not.
And what's the last thing that he says, Jeff?
That this guy says?
Yeah.
He says, I only wish I invested in the twine market.
Yeah. And he was like, oh no, he says, why did I spend so much of my time thinking about twine?
Yeah. His regrets are, palpable as he thinks about, he says, every day I just assumed that I'd live forever. Every day I just thought I would continue the same routine, but each day is precious and don't let them slip away.
Right. He says that.
We all pause to hear this whole speech.
Yeah.
And he has his own flashback to where his wife is like, darling, I thought we could go somewhere. And he's like, no, dear, I have to check up on the twine markets today. No time for that. Money is twine and twine is money and twine is time.
Out his trouser leg, be like, Daddy, let's go play out in the fort. He's like,
he's like, honey. Later, darling, I have to read up on the twine.
Takes twine to build a fort, and we're not using our twine for playtime.
And the cats in the cradle playing with twine.
So, so Alex, DJ just put up a little thing that you might have done accidentally with your attack, but either way, it still would have worked out pretty well.
Let me see.
But so now there's just that one person that's turned.
Where DJ put it?
It's in the chat portion of Roll20.
Roll20. Okay.
Nope, I only sent it to you, so I didn't distract everybody. Awesome.
Okay. Sorry. Never mind. So we'll deal with it later. So this last guard has now turned towards Dirk, and he sees that this guy got killed, and he like runs to the big door, and he's gonna say like they're outside. He's screaming like they're outside, and he's pounding on the door. But again, all of this is like muffled as that chanting has grown so much louder and louder and louder.
So it's back to me? Like back some?
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right. Are you just dealing damage, or are you doing something else?
I am.
Looks like you're doing the full backstab thing.
Yeah, well, I can take on a roll 10, choose 2. So I'll deal damage and not get into a melee with them.
Sure.
That's
all right.
Damage.
Yeah, so this guy kind of like, he's like pounding on this door and saying like, they're out here. Trying to like alert the folks inside.
Yeah, and then I'll slit his throat and I'll be like, they're out here, the good stew, and sorry to interrupt. Everything's good. But if you want stew, there's stew.
All right. So there you guys are amid these 4 bodies. There's that like deafeningly loud chanting that's going on. And you guys are standing in front of these huge double doors that seem to lead to some like massive ceremonial chamber, almost like the massive doors of a cathedral, like an old Catholic cathedral. And I think the chanting continues until you just hear a roar.
We're too late.
Somebody touched the thermostat in there.
Yeah.
I say, we need to know what's going on in there.
Oof. Go ahead and make for me defy danger rolls as these massive doors are blown off their hinges out toward you.
Does it have to be Dex?
Dex makes sense to jump out of the way, but if you're like, I'm just going to fucking stand here and take it, then that could be something else.
I'm going to contemplate the doors while they fly toward me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to block them.
Yeah. All right. I got a 8.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, listen, with dwarven low center of gravity, like perfect door stops.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
maybe she's got first. Just Constitution it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so
try and power through.
So Dirk got an 11.
All right, I got an 8.
Did I go too far here?
Oh. I just rolled Dex.
Oh, Dirk got an 8. Carl got an 8 as well. Alex got a 7, and Gritta got a 10. Yeah, so Gritta just kind of stands there and is like, "Yar, nothing's coming over me. I'm a dwarf." And meanwhile, everybody else got like a mixed success on that. And so I think that the easy one is you guys are like knocked over and kind of like knocked down through this stuff. And so Gritta is standing there and is like the first person to see this. And everybody else is kind of like bowled over by this stuff, maybe kind of like pushed like a good distance away. Gritta, inside this massive chamber, this huge like rectangular no, fuck it, it's the round sphere. This is a big dome room. Yeah, so inside this massive dome that's clearly set up like with like runes all over the place, you see kind of before you like a 50 to 60 foot like dragon that's kind of standing there, and it looks as terrifying as they did in the pictures. It has massive, mighty wings. It has a thick, scaly, glistening hide. It has sharp teeth, the size of swords, claws just as sharp and dangerous. And you hear a woman's voice, Gritta, saying like, "Grow, teach them of our revenge. Destroy those who would keep the world flat. Destroy those who would enslave us by crushing the earth." And a woman in like robes is standing in front of like an altar. You see scattered throughout the room these like shards of like what look like massively thick stained glass all over the room.
And the cat's in the cradle playing with twine.
Whoa, wild. I sure did like those little kobold guys. They were wacky. Loved them.
Dungeon World After the Last Battle is Leigh as Dirk Very Savage, David as Gritta Grimhammer, Alex as Jeff the Scowl, Carl as Rosco Tinklechimes, and Austin as your Game Master. Music by Austin and Alex, not the one who plays Jeff. Dungeon World is a game by Sage Latorra and Adam Koebel, if I'm saying that correctly. Join us in 2 weeks for another episode of This American Dice Presents Dungeon World After the Last Battle.